athletes and top-tier performers. The final boss has always stood out, even when he was just a blue chipper. But there wouldn't be a final boss. There wouldn't even be a bloodline if it wasn't for The Rock's grandfather, the High Chief Peter Maivia. You can think of him as the first boss. Predecessor to the tribal chief.
He is one of, if not the foundation for our family. The Anoa'i Fatu Maivia wrestling dynasty. I don't think there's anybody more responsible for what's going on now than the High Chief himself.
Peter Maivia isn't simply one of the two principals behind the Sacred Blood Bond. He's also an incredibly decorated professional wrestler who traveled the world and won titles everywhere he went. New Zealand, Japan, Europe, and here in the United States, where he enjoyed especially successful runs in Hawaii and California. Maivia would eventually find his way to WWE, engaging in legendary battles with the likes of superstar Billy Graham. His larger-than-life personality would win the WWE Universe over in short order, as it had throughout his entire career. In the ring, High Chief Peter Maivia was a potent blend of brawn and grappling technique, often muscling his opponents down to the mat through a variety of joint locks and then switching to more painful holds once grounded. His sleeper hold and stump puller were both feared and renowned, and make no mistake about it, Maivia knew there was always more than one path to the ultimate victory. Out of the ring, High Chief Peter Maivia also ran one of the most successful wrestling promotions on the planet, Polynesian Pro Wrestling, based out of Hawaii, showing his mastery of the business in every aspect. His induction into WWE's Hall of Fame class of 2008 was supremely deserved, forever enshrining Peter Maivia as the legend he always was. And now, we present to you the opportunity to walk in the boots of the legendary High Chief Peter Maivia, facing off against one of the most legendary WWE rivals, George the Animal Steele. You will settle this score once and forever and showcase the overwhelming strength of Peter Maivia, which has ever since remained as a hallmark for every single solitary member of this bloodline. Steele is no easy battle, though. He thrives in the chaos, one of pro wrestling's true madmen. He'll even try to eat part of the ring if he thinks it'll help him break you down. So do your best and honor High Chief Peter Maivia properly with a resounding victory.
Uh-oh, somebody called the local zoo.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall and is a steel cage match. Introducing first, from Detroit, Michigan, weighing in at 275 pounds, George the Animal Steele.
I'm not even sure the cage.
And strolling down the aisle, the opponent of George Steele, Peter Maivia.
Always a chaotic matchup.
His opponent from the Isle of Samoa, weighing in at 275 pounds, High Chief Peter Maivia.
Steel had better keep an eye on Maivia because Maivia is a true brawler.
Few men can handle the chaos of the animal inside a steel cage, but I believe the High Chief is ready.
Maivia carrying such pride into the ring.
Very stark contrast to Steel.
We'll see which prevails tonight.
High Chief Peter Maivia taking on George the Animal Steel in a steel cage match. Quite a heated history between these two guys.
Yeah, Michael, and I think it's because Maivia is one of the few superstars brave enough to take on the animal. Most of their contests have ended in countouts or disqualifications. Thanks to the cage, we'll get a decisive victory in this one.
Well, that really depends on if a cage can even contain them.
Right to the gut.
When a man like Peter Maivia signs up for a match with the animal, he doesn't know what to expect, just to expect anything in the world.
Peter Maivia knows full well that he's in for some unusual treatment tonight. In fact, Steel often has trouble finding opponents due to his erratic nature.
But when it comes to competition, the High Chief wants to prove he's worthy of that name. Peter Maivia will take on any competitor, no matter the difficulty. Boom!
Ooh! Knee strike!
Oh, God! Brutal chop block.
The animal has to be elated to be in this steel cage against one of his biggest rivals, no less.
Yeah, Byron, we've seen the animal brandish a weapon against Peter Maivia before when it was against the rules. The High Chief better be prepared for Steel to get even crazier.
Oh, Maivia is prepared, all right. The man is extremely tough and agile. In fact, the High Chief's entire body can be considered a weapon. Boom! Running FTO plants him.
Nicely done.
Maivia overwhelming his opponent here.
And you can see Steel is struggling to weather the storm of the High Chief.
Shoulder tackle.
George the Animal Steel might be a bit of an underdog here. In fact, he lost a match by countout to the High Chief.
In Steel's defense, I'm not sure he knows how to count exactly or how to read a rule book. So he's got to be happy to be in this cage.
Well, Maivia is called the High Chief in part because of his commanding presence in the ring. He's more than ready for what the animal will throw at him, even inside a cage.
George beats him to the punch.
Crucial turnaround there because George was falling behind.
But George has to push now while a window's open.
Suplex attempt. Able to go behind, though, into a chop block. Gentlemen, we've touched on the differences between Maivia and Steel as competitors. One man based on order, the other on chaos, but it's reflected in their looks, too.
Indeed, Michael. Just look at the sculpted physique of the High Chief and the tribal tattoos on his body.
Now shoulders down.
Here we go.
Anyone who thought this would be over quick has another thing coming.
Two very opposing styles in every sense of the word, Corey. High Chief Maivia is a much more physically gifted and talented athlete in the ring than Steel. What's it going to take for the animal to get the upper hand here?
Well, he's got to be even more chaotic than ever inside this cage. Nothing about Steel makes sense to someone as traditional as Maivia. There's never any telling what the animal's going to do in a match, and he needs to keep it that way.
I'm just as shocked as everyone else, Cole, his opponent included.
The High Chief Peter Maivia really making a name for himself at WWE, but he's had plenty of experience on the way up.
Plenty of championships on the West Coast, but he's made the biggest splash in Hawaii, where he earned multiple tag team titles.
Oh yeah, Maivia is a huge celebrity on the islands. In fact, I've heard some
from the heavens, big body splash from the top.
Momentum is all with Maivia now.
Yeah, and Maivia has really figured the animal out here.
Here it comes. Boom! What a backbreaker.
Does Peter Maivia have this sewn up?
How at this point you don't even stay down long enough for a 1 count is beyond comprehension.
And you can sense the desperation mounting as that last move couldn't finish things. And I guess he's out of here, free and clear. He's eyeing the top of the cage as he starts his climb. And the High Chief defeats the Animal.
Here is your winner, High Chief Maivia.
Anytime these two have faced off, it's been eye for an eye. But the steel cage has finally